Gentlemen, salutations. Today is March 20th, 2025. Somebody please explain to me why Apple deserves to trade at 34 times earnings. My contention is it does not. Okay, look at this. There's a $3.2 trillion company, 15 billion shares outstanding. It's a massive company. I will give you that, right? It's including the S&P 500 and basically every 401k on the planet. Now, the company generates $6.28 in earnings per share, trades at 34 times earnings at $214.15 at close. Now, I don't understand why this stock deserves to trade at such a high multiple, because you go look at the financials, and they haven't grown in the past 3 years. Even over the past 5 years, they've hardly grown. But over the past 3 years, zero growth. In 2022, they generated $394 billion in revenue. Trailing 12 months, they've generated $395, zero growth. In pre-tax income, they've grown marginally, basically nothing, from $119 to $125. Net income has gone down over this period, $99 billion to $96 billion over the past 12 months. Earnings per share is relatively stagnant. Now, I understand that everybody loves Apple. They've got a monopoly on phones. Everybody uses their phone. In fact, they've got the monopoly on the phone, and they don't allow developers to innovate unless they get to take their 30% cut. Here's the thing, though. This is a $100 stock, in my opinion, and the market has recently taken a nice crap, okay? And you see over the past little bit. Let's zoom out here, okay? Let's get rid of the banner. All this, when did iPhone come out? Was it 2007? Right here, $5. All of this is iPhone growth. Yes, I understand they have some other products, MacBooks, iPads, etc. But it's all basically iPhone. This is the only product that they've really innovated. And they haven't done anything for innovation. You're now up to iPhone 16. They just keep relabeling it. They add a few more cameras to it. But and then now they tried to just shove ChatGPT on top of it. There's nothing innovative about this company. And if you pay attention to their products, they have a lot of bugs. They rolled out Apple Business Manager, which is an MDM software, a couple years ago. Nothing but bugs. And it's amazing that a lot of their stuff has a lot of bugs. It's like not even production ready when they release it. Now, looking at the stock, you say, why does this deserve to trade at 34 times earnings? I don't know that it does. And if you're a technical analyst, which I'm, not, but sometimes things converge and you say, well, you put a nice little support and resistance line here. This lines up here, 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 and here, all right? You've got a breakdown below this support line, breaks down and then retests it, and it seems to me that you're going lower. And you look at the financials and say, I don't understand how this is a stock that deserves to trade at 34 times earnings. If we pop over, I asked ChatGPT real quick. I said, and there's no growth to this stock, right? So I said, generate a DCF valuation for a stock with $6.28 in earnings per share, growing at 4% in perpetuity. And it says fair market value is 108. I said, what about 2% growth? It said 80. And I said, what is the implied growth rate at 214? It says 6.8%. So do you really think that this company is growing at 7%? Is that what you're banking on? No, I don't think so. Now, there's a report on Zero Hedge that Tim Cook lost confidence in the AI head. So he's appointed the head of Vision Pro to be the new AI guy. The Vision Pro sucked as a product. Ridiculous product, all right? Now let's go look at their product lineup. What do they got? iPhone 16. Okay, cool, great, fantastic. Same as the original iPhone. It's just a little more square, a little larger, a few more apps, more cameras. All right, here's the problem. You have a company focused on this degeneracy rather than innovation. This is not even a man. All right, I'm sick of men just being completely embarrassed like this. This is ridiculous. I don't know what this guy got paid to do this. This is the subversion of American male. This is ridiculous. This company clearly is just too focused on diversity, which is a conflict Diversity is conflict. What they need is unity and innovation, all right? We don't need any of this shit, Apple. This is ridiculous, all right? And the thing is, they could get by with this garbage if they had innovative products. Men in America would be willing to like overlook this. If they had the coolest products, you'd be like, okay, I don't care if they want to dance like fairies. But when they're too busy dancing like fairies because they're too focused on diversity, they've gotten lost here. Gotten completely lost. What do they have? They got the watch, okay, whatever. Got the MacBook Air. It's like a MacBook, but with Air. You got the iPad Air. It's like an iPad, but with Air. That's all they do. They just take the same screen. They make it larger. They put the screen in different formats. They make it thinner, and they call it Air. All right? The card, from what I remember reading, Goldman Sachs wanted to get out of their partnership on the card business because it wasn't that fantastic. And yeah, they've gotten into some multimedia, but all the shows look like this, and therefore they're not emblematic of real America. Now, you go look at a discounted cash flow valuation. You say, let's say they grow at 4% per year, which is generous, and it's just, you're going to give them a perpetual growth rate of 4%. So you're basically saying they're not really growing much, but you just assign a 4% rate, and it's almost like an annuity. And what do you get? You get a fair market value of about $75. And you've got no margin of safety. You've got a negative 183% margin of safety. There's no margin of safety here, gentlemen, is my point. I don't know whether there's a $100 stock. I don't know whether it's a $75 stock, or maybe because it's the benefactor. It's one of the primary benefactors of Jerome Powell's unlimited money printer. You've got everybody and their dog who just is in a few names, and this is atop the S&P 500. Then perhaps you have everybody piling into this, and so you don't get a massive precipitous decline. I just don't understand how this stock deserves to trade at $214. Seems to me it should be trading at least at $1.50. And if they came back down here, $1.26, they definitely should go to 180. All right? Definitely 164. All right? Not going to tell you what's going to happen. Do your own research. But you go look at the options here. We go June 20th, 2025. Go look at some puts. And these seem like they're, $1.60. That's a pretty decent out of the money put, right? But $1.70, $1.80, $1.70. Like, this stock seems like it deserves to fall by at least 30%. So while you've got everybody crying about how there's a recession and stocks are going down, like, I don't understand how this stock deserves to trade at 34 times earnings. That would imply some reasonable growth prospects. And what are they doing? They unveil stupid products. The stupid products being Apple Vision Pro, dumb product. They're now going to do a foldable phone. Bro, they're going to do a foldable phone, really? Like, everybody's done foldable phones. It's not even cool. Who cares whether your phone can fold in half? Just put it in your pocket. Nobody cares. There's nothing innovative about that. So I'm just going to say, I don't understand how this stock deserves to trade at 34 times earnings. I'm just going to leave it there. Do your own research. You're responsible for your own investment decisions. I just don't understand how this company should be classified as some innovative growth company. They've lost their way. They're too focused on this garbage. How much does this guy make? How much would it cost for you to dance like this on Apple's website? Maybe that's the better question. Emasculating. All right, gentlemen, good luck to you.